Do you want to draw closer as a family and improve your family relationships? If so, keep watching this video. I have 10 family bonding ideas for you that are practical and realistic, and you can start them even today. Hi, it's Stacy from FamiliesWithGrace.com, which is your resource for Christian parenting. So today I wanted to talk about family bonding, and I have 10 different family bonding ideas for you to help Christian families grow closer family relationships, which is something that, we really all want, I think. So since before we had children, my husband and I had a team mentality. Like, we were all Team Shannon, go us. And it was us against the world. So once we had our children, we then incorporated them into our team and have developed an attitude of family teamwork ever since then. Along with that, though, we have also tried to be intentional about family bonding and finding ways to make that happen even when life is busy. Of the various ways we spend quality time together, today I'm sharing 10 of our favorite ways for family bonding. All right, so let's get started. Number 1 is to play games. Gaming is one of my family's favorite pastimes. My husband and I enjoyed games before we had children, and then we were happy to play games with our kids once they were old enough to do so. And be sure to check out, I have a link for you in the description of 5 of our favorite family games for small children. They don't even have to be able to read, and none of them are expensive, which is awesome. But playing games together can be a great way to bond with the right attitude. So another bonus to playing games together is that it gives you a chance to teach lessons about how you cannot always win and how to be happy for someone else we love when things go well for them. We've worked our way through some of these challenges and still do, especially with one of our kiddos, from time to time. Another thing that we do to keep competitiveness at bay is sometimes we also really enjoy playing cooperative games, which are games that the whole family works together for one common goal. Role-playing games are often this way, and then one of our favorite board games that's a role-playing game is Hero Quest. We've really enjoyed that now that our kids are older. It does take a couple of hours at a time, but it's really great for a Saturday afternoon or a time that you just have some time to sit and play. You're all working towards the same objective, which is really nice and really fun. All right, so number 2, try new things. Experiencing something new together can be really great for family bonding. It could be eating something new, doing a new activity, going somewhere new. Doing something brand new draws you closer as a family. Recently, for example, my daughter and I were alone for dinner while my husband and son had gone to see a movie. So we decided to try Indian food at a restaurant in our city that we had never been to, and neither of us had even had Indian food before. So it was a whole new experience, a whole new cuisine, and we learned together, which was a really neat thing to be able to do as a parent and child. It wasn't a situation where I had experienced it before, but she had not. It was new to both of us, which was really fun. Our whole family tried geocaching together. That was another time that we tried something new. A couple of years ago, we'd done it for the first time, and it was a really fun way to connect with one another and bond as we were searching for hidden items in sometimes some very common areas. Though there is one that we never found at a Taco Bell drive-thru, so I don't know what happened to that one, but that's okay. All right, number 3 of things that are great to do for family bonding activities is to travel. So any adventure you can go on together is going to draw you closer. And you can do this by traveling far from home, by going to just a city over, or even going somewhere in your own hometown. It doesn't have to be complicated or pricey or extravagant. This year, we spent spring break spelunking in various caves in Kentucky. We also got to feed kangaroos, which was so fun, and eat good food. Our trip resulted in good memories and a chance to draw closer. Traveling together as a family helps you to stay focused on each other because there are not nearly as many distractions as in daily life. There's no laundry, there's no work deadlines, there's no homework, all of those things. You get to just focus on each other and having fun together. It also helps your family learn to be more flexible. We've navigated a picky eater and continue to do so, finding a way around a new city and surviving tent camping failures as a family. I have a link to that as well for you about our tent camping failures because bless our hearts, we have struggled with tent camping, but I'm determined it will not get the best of us. All right, so let's continue on with our ideas for family bonding. Number 4, eat meals, right? We all have to eat anyway. So making sure that we can spend time together doing that is really important, because some things for family bonding we do that are more out of the ordinary and others are more commonplace. Eating dinner or whatever mealtime really works best for your family together is great for bonding. Family mealtime allows you to talk about what's going on in your lives. We talk with our kids about what happened at school. Sometimes we make plans for the week. Other times we have random conversations that spring up, like what our most embarrassing moments are. That was a really fun conversation we recently had. We've even had deeper discussions about religion and politics at the dinner table. If you cannot have dinner together every night, set a goal of however many nights are feasible for your family and do what it takes to make that happen. If dinner time doesn't work, then have breakfast or lunch together a couple of times a week. Even schedule a time like maybe just to go or just have drinks together, like coffee and soda or whatever you want to do. You could go to Starbucks if that's your thing. It doesn't have to be fancy. It doesn't have to be elaborate. You could even just serve up cold cereal and toast for dinner and enjoy that time together. It doesn't have to be anything extravagant. All right, number 5 of our ideas for family bonding is to go to church. So there's something special about being at church together as a family. And these days, my 10-year-old prefers to stay in the service with us instead of going with the kids. So we are all 4 together as we are at church, which is really nice. Sitting there with my husband and my kids and listening to them praising God together is just really awesome. It makes my heart swell with gratitude for my blessings. If your children do go to children's church, then be sure to talk about what they did and what they learned. That's something that we have always done. Right now, since we are all together, we usually talk about the sermon after church and kind of what happened and what we thought about it. But when they were little and going to children's church, we would talk about what they learned as well. Usually we go out to eat after church on Sundays. That's like one of our regular meals out that we do. So that's a great time to have a meal together and talk about church. 2 things, 1 stone. It works really well. Number 6, have devotion time. So growing in our relationships with God together as a family is going to bring us closer. Whether you're doing family devotions at Christmas or throughout the year, make time in your schedule to do some sort of devotional as a family. It doesn't have to be every day. If once a week is what works for your family, then do that. If once a month is all you can manage right now, that's okay too. Do that. Right now, we are reading through the Action Bible a couple of nights a week. After we finish reading a section or 2 or 3, because sometimes we get going, we just talk a bit about how that applies to our own life. And we go over what happened. For instance, recently my kids were kind of scoffing at how quickly the Israelites turned to worship idols and forgot what God did to get them out of Egypt. So then we talked about how it can be really easy for us to get distracted from God and go off doing our own things and not making the right choices. And we might not be making golden calves to worship, but we do need to make sure that we are prioritizing our relationship with God and not getting distracted, because that does happen to us. We want to think it's just the Israelites, but it's us too. So those are the kinds of things that we talk about as we're reading through the Bible stories together. All right, number 7, speaking of reading, read for fun. Reading out loud together is a great way to encourage family bonding. We started reading to our 13-year-old when she was about 3 months old, and we haven't stopped since. We've read through a variety of picture books, so many picture books. There's some I still have memorized, and chapter books together. Our family has enjoyed particularly the Harry Potter book series and the Mapmaker Chronicles series. Right now, my son and I have been reading through the Wings of Fire series together and are really enjoying that as a special one-on-one bonding time. The fun with reading fiction together with your family is you get a chance to enjoy the story, you root for characters, you loathe villains together, and more. My son and I even come up with our own role play of sorts for many of the books that we read. If you need some ideas for books that you can read as a family, go ahead and check out the description. I have a couple of links, more than 100 children's books worth reading you'll find, and then also a list of family read aloud chapter books for kindergarten through 5th grade that are really great books that we have enjoyed as a family. All right, number 8 in our ways to approach family bonding time. Number 8 is to pray. Along with reading, we also started praying with our children before bedtime when they were babies. And that has continued to this day. Our kids are 10 and 13. Even though our daughter does get to stay up later than her younger brother, we have family prayer time every night. It's not elaborate, and it doesn't have to be. Most of the time, our kids each say prayers out loud. Sometimes we do also. Praying together really helps draw our family closer. When we pray for each other, it helps strengthen relationships as well. If one of us is sick or struggling and the others pray for that person, it's encouraging. We also join together in prayer for friends and family, and it's neat that there are times that we can also talk about seeing those prayers having been answered, and that's a really cool thing to be able to do as a family as well. All right, number 9 is reminisce. Doing things together creates memories. Talking about those memories together can draw your family closer to each other and strengthen your relationships. There's something special about a shared memory or an inside joke. And here's the thing, you don't even have to reminisce solely about the big things like vacations. Talk and laugh about the small everyday moments that nobody will forget. My family, for instance, laughs together about the time I came across mice in our garage and started yelling and ran back into the house faster than anybody thought I could possibly move. It was certainly a memorable moment. But just be careful that in your reminiscing that you are not putting each other down or hurting each other's feelings. And that does not hurt my feelings because I think it's hilarious. It wasn't funny to me at the time because I was a little freaked out, but looking back on it, it was pretty comical. All right, and finally, our 10th idea for family bonding is to cheer for each other. When you have a team mentality about your family, it's even easier to cheer for each other. Cheering for each other can look like listening when a family member is talking about something he or she is passionate about. It can look like your whole family showing up for concerts, performances, or games and cheering loudly. Feeling happy for and or proud of each other can only increase your bond as a family. We want to celebrate life's wins together so that whenever something good happens to one of us, we're all excited. This encourages the kiddos, as well as my husband and me, to share our good news with our family, and that is always a good thing. All right, so those are my 10 ideas for family bonding and how to improve your family relationships. I hope that you find those helpful. I would love to hear anything that you do as a family to draw closer. And be sure to go over and check out familieswithgrace.com as well as the Families with Grace YouTube channel. I have all sorts of resources for Christian parenting to help you out along the way. All right, I hope you are having a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.